Today I'm making a quick and easy, no stir, believe it or not, risotto in my rock crock everyday pan. First I'll saute a medium onion that I finely chop using my food chopper. And the recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic, but it also, the ratio is 3 cloves of garlic to 1 cup of rice. And I'm actually going to make a cup and a half because that's what I had left in my bag. It seems silly to put a half a cup of rice away. So I'm going to press out 4 cloves of garlic because I'm not afraid of some garlic. And I'm using my garlic press to do it. Not only does the garlic press save money because it's significantly cheaper to buy the head of garlic than it is to buy the jar of crushed garlic, but those jars actually, a lot of them have formaldehyde in it, which I did not know. But I could do without that in my food, that's for certain. So I really enjoy this particular tool, the garlic press. So once I'm done pressing my garlic, I'm going to melt a few, 2 tablespoons, I think it was, of butter in my rock crock pan and then saute it up. So the rock crock can go from the stove to the oven to the microwave. You can even put it on under the broiler, and of course it's refrigerator and freezer safe as well. So it's really conducive to this recipe because again I'm starting it on the stove so I can saute up the onions and garlic and toast up the rice before I finish the cooking process in the microwave. So first up goes the onions and the garlic. And I'll saute them until they're just about translucent before I add the rice. Now keep in mind that I recorded my whole cooking process for you and then I edited the video after the fact because I'm sure there's only so much chopping and stirring that you'd really want to sit through in a day. But just so keep in mind it probably took a few minutes to get the onions to cook up until they were translucent before I just added the rice. Similarly, you saw the chopping and the garlic press. I had sped up the filming a little bit there rather than making you sit through 2 minutes of me chopping up onions and pressing garlic. Also, I do realize the irony. I started this video by calling this a no-stir risotto, and we've probably spent a good 2-3 minutes watching me stir. But the traditional way you make risotto, you do this process of toasting the rice, and then you add slowly broth that's been heated, and you stir and stir and stir and stir and stir until it soaks it up. And then you add a little more broth and you stir and stir and stir and stir. So that's the part that you're going to bypass in this recipe, that stirring once you add the broth. So this part is pretty much the same as you would with a regular traditional risotto where you toast up the rice a little bit before you add the broth. So once you've toasted up the rice a bit, you take it off the heat so you can add the chicken broth. Now the ratio in the recipe was 3.5 cups of chicken broth for every 1 cup of rice. But remember, I have a cup and a half of rice in that pot. So I did the math, I figured out how much broth I needed to add, and that's how come you see me using 2 things of chicken broth there in our silicone prep bowls. Once I add the chicken broth, stir it up a little bit, then I'll add some ground black pepper. I'm also trying to get the fond off the bottom of the pan. I believe that's what you call it. Again, I'm no professional chef. I am just a pampered one. So I'll add some ground black pepper, stir it up one more time, and then I'll stick it in the microwave. Now those little red things that you see me picking up the pan with are called microwave grippers, and I'll put the item number on the video, but They're great for pulling things into and out of the microwave. Um, Even in my personal opinion, when it relates to that, I don't know if it's because it's up high or what, but they, in my opinion, work even better than your usual oven mitts or pot holders. Um, so into the microwave it goes. You put it in the center so that it can rotate. Um, and now I'm going to put it on for 15 minutes. When I pull it out, after my 15 minutes are up, I'm going to put some spinach in it and let it steam a couple more minutes in the microwave. I'm also going to add my Parmesan cheese at this point. Now you could wait until you're completely done with the cooking process and then add your parm. I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, I've done it both ways. But I pre-shredded my parm, which is why you see me pulling it out of Lock and Lock. I used, now I'm into this ever since I got the microplane. I buy the big block of Parmesan and I grate it myself. It takes 2 seconds. If I'm angry at anybody at work, I take my work frustrations out on my garlic, my onions, and my cheese blocks. And so now I'm just stirring in the spinach so that it can steam up when I put it back in the microwave. And so I'm going to add just a tiny bit more, I think. Yeah, a tiny bit more of the spinach. And then we'll stick it back in the microwave for 2 more minutes. And then it'll be done. I'll pull it out, I'll let it cool a little bit, and then you'll see what the finished product looks like. And that's it. I was also roasting some spaghetti squash and garlic while I was making that risotto, so I tried to make effective use of my cooking time. Have a great day.